We are hardwired for stories. Narratives shape our understanding of the world. In the workplace, stories are powerful tools that shape behavior. They influence how we perceive challenges and interact with colleagues. Leaders who understand this can unlock their organization's potential. Recognizing and shaping these narratives is key to success. Leaders who fail to do so risk being blindsided by their influence. Engage with and shape your internal narratives for a positive work environment. The first step in transforming your workplace is identifying limiting beliefs holding your organization back. These often stem from past experiences, industry assumptions, or unconscious biases. Open conversations can uncover these hidden narratives, encourage sharing perspectives on company culture and challenges, analyze past successes and failures for recurring patterns, review strategic plans for limiting beliefs. Once you have identified the limiting narratives that are holding your organization back, the next step is to start crafting new, more empowering stories. These new narratives should be grounded in the organization's values, aligned with its strategic goals, and designed to inspire positive change. Start by reframing challenges as opportunities for growth and innovation. Instead of dwelling on past failures, focus on the lessons learned and the potential for future success. Encourage a culture of experimentation and learning, where mistakes are seen as valuable opportunities for growth rather than something to be feared. Highlight the strengths and successes of your team, both individually and collectively. Share stories of resilience, determination, and innovation. Celebrate small wins along the way to maintain momentum and build a sense of shared accomplishment. Remember, people are naturally drawn to stories of hope, inspiration, and possibility. As you craft these new narratives, be sure to ground them in authenticity and relevance. Avoid empty slogans or generic platitudes. Instead, focus on real stories about real people within your organization who are making a difference. These stories will be far more relatable, memorable, and ultimately more impactful. Section 4, From Tragedy to Triumph, NASA's Story of Resilience. One of the most powerful examples of narrative reframing comes from NASA's response to the Columbia Space Shuttle disaster in 2003. In the wake of this tragedy, the organization faced a monumental challenge: how to rebuild trust, learn from its mistakes, and continue its mission of space exploration. Instead of succumbing to despair or assigning blame, NASA chose to reframe the Columbia disaster as a turning point in its history. The organization publicly acknowledged its shortcomings, embraced a culture of transparency and accountability, and committed to learning from its mistakes. This new narrative of resilience and learning was not merely a PR exercise. It was deeply embedded in the organization's culture and operations. NASA implemented rigorous new safety protocols, fostered a more collaborative and less hierarchical work environment, and encouraged open communication and feedback at all levels. The result was a renewed sense of purpose and a string of successful missions. By reframing the Columbia disaster as a catalyst for positive change, NASA was able to emerge from tragedy stronger and more united than ever before. Section 5. Weaving the narrative tapestry, embedding stories across the organization. Crafting compelling narratives is only half the battle. To truly transform your workplace, you need to embed these new stories into the very fabric of your organization. This requires a multifaceted approach that encompasses everything from your mission statement to your day-to-day interactions. Start by weaving your new narratives into your company's mission statement, vision, and values. These core documents should reflect the aspirational stories you want to tell about your organization and its place in the world. Reinforce these narratives through your internal and external communications. Use storytelling in your newsletters, presentations, and social media posts to bring your brand to life and connect with your audience on an emotional level. Encourage your employees to share their own stories. Create platforms for storytelling, such as internal blogs, podcasts, or even regular storytelling circles where employees can share their experiences and insights. Section 6. A living legacy, sustaining empowering narratives. Transforming your workplace with strategic storytelling is not a one-time event, it's an ongoing process. Like any good story, your organizational narratives need to be nurtured, refined, and adapted over time to remain relevant and impactful. Encourage regular reflection and feedback on the stories being told within your organization. Are they still resonating with your employees? Are they supporting your strategic goals? Are there new stories emerging that need to be acknowledged and amplified? Be open to revising and evolving your narratives as your organization grows and changes. The stories that served you well in the past may not be the same ones that will propel you into the future. Remember, the most powerful stories are those that are authentic, relatable, and deeply connected to the lived experiences of your employees. By creating a culture where storytelling is valued and encouraged, you can unlock the power of narrative to drive positive change and create a more engaged, inspired, and ultimately more successful workplace. Section 7. The leader as a storyteller, a call to action. Leaders have a unique responsibility to shape the narratives within their organizations. By embracing the power of storytelling, leaders can inspire their teams, foster a more positive and productive work environment, and ultimately drive meaningful change. This is not about spinning fairy tales or ignoring challenges. It's about recognizing the power of stories to shape our perceptions, influence our behaviors, and ultimately determine our collective success. It's about leading with authenticity, vulnerability, and a deep belief in the power of human connection. So I challenge you to look at your own organization through the lens of storytelling. What stories are being told? Are they empowering your team or holding them back? As a leader, you have the power to rewrite the narrative. You have the power to create a workplace where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. You have the power to inspire positive change, one story at a time.